and was it the screenplay that made you want to be part of this project?
So the thing is that I've been working with that director. It's my fourth project with him. So we know each other quite well. This is not super common in France. Usually in France, the director writes their own movies, and there's no, we call that film de commande, when a producer asks a director to make a movie out of a script which he didn't written. And that's the case with this film. So he came to me and he was like, you know, I think we should make this movie together and try to have fun and have with those characters that take themselves seriously. Il y a de l'humour sur de autodérision dans ces personnages un peu extrêmes.
And there's a lot of humor to be found in this self-derision from these upper-class characters. Can you talk about the social criticism aspect? Because there is a tradition in French literature and theater, Molière even, Bourgeois Gentilhomme, there's a tradition of the comedy of class. And how did that play for you? Was that an enjoyable theme to explore?
Yes, I think what's quite interesting for all of us in this film, for all of the characters, is that it's not super white and super black. It's not too Manichaean. Yeah, Manichaean is when it's those are the good guys, those are the bad guys.
Black and white.
Yeah, it's more complicated, as we can see. And so it's quite interesting to play with all those nuances. And I think also that the director that doesn't really say who are the good and the bad guys somehow, but the real subject, the real political subject is this kid, Mehdi, and the subject of transfuge de classe.
Mm-hmm. The mobility between classes.
How is it possible, you know, for a kid not coming from privileged family, being able to, you know, access a certain job, and also the gap, which is more and more profound those days between rich people and poor people, and how is it going to be still possible to get along?
Was it always obvious to you when you read the screenplay that you would play this role? Did you feel like that was the one for you, that you could portray this upper class woman, former actress? What was it about that role? Did you know right away that was one for you?
He offered me that part, and I thought that was interesting for me because lately I've been portraying very good persons, very good mothers, like very genuine persons, and so I found it was quite interesting for me to explore that more
ambiguity.
Yeah, more tricky kind of behaviors.
Is it, as an actress, is it harder to play comedy or compared to drama. Do you find, what is the different challenge when you're playing such a type of comedy?
Well, we always say that it's more difficult to play comedy because there's a sense of rhythm, and but whenever the script is super well written, it becomes easier because it's all about situations, you know, and not having to push and to show too much, but let yourself as an actor being, floating inside the situation and being like victim of the situation, or being like, you go with the flow, but the flow has to be super well written in order for it to work.
And it's so interesting in the film, I'm sure you all agree, the power shifts from sometimes, you know, the caretakers have the power, and then sometimes it's all constantly shifting, and that's what's so interesting. Everyone has a chance to have a face-to-face, and I wanted to talk about the scene in the little jacuzzi. Was that a fun scene for you, this face-à-face with your colleague Laure Calamy, who's so amazing?
It's what I think. What I want to say is that it's everybody. I feel that everybody, all of them, think they're doing good. You know, it seems like the owners really think that they behave nicely with the caretaker, and the caretakers really think they take good care of the house. And I kind of like that form of sincerity, you know, before it gets all fucked up. And the jacuzzi scene, it was, you know, there's certain scenes in a script that you're kind of like excited about, and yet you don't know if how it's going to turn. But I have to say that Laure decided to do the feet, the toe looking part wasn't supposed to happen. That's something she made up, and something I've been responding during the take.
C'est troublant. It must have been such a bizarre thing between these two characters.
Yeah, I think there's many kind of bizarre things in the movie, like little off things that make this movie quite interesting, and not like a random comedy, but all those odd moments where you're like, oh, is it really happening? Me, that's the kind of humor that I really like.
I also love the scene where your character is trying to teach her daughter how to cry, and it's such a funny scene. And was that a fun one? Because of course you have to cry in telling this. So was this a challenging scene for you, or did you? Because you have to be inside it. We are laughing, but you're inside of that action. Tell us about that moment. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, this scene is also one of those scenes, very well written, and when I read it, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna do it this way, you know, being like super first degree, super sincere, super intense, and that was really the way I thought this scene could be done, you know. And again, you know, the sincerity is quite interesting, even in those comedy moments. Ça décale.
it's off kilter a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. And my last question before we open to the audience. There's 7 characters in this, almost like a play. You know, this manège that keeps turning. Is it fun to act in a truly an ensemble? Everyone has a moment. Everyone has a scene. The characters are, have different combinations of scenes together. Talk about the ensemble nature of this film.
Yeah, I think when Antony, the director, received the script, all the characters were not super equal, and he really rewrote in that direction for all of us to serve the film and what we're talking about with this film. So it's very well balanced, I think. And of course, being part of an ensemble and having to... I mean, we had a lot of fun. It was very funny sometimes. And it's even more funny when you have to stay very, so it was a very fun experience.
Maybe there's some bloopers there, no? Sur le plateau, vous rigoliez, ou il y a des moments où...
That's a very small budget film, so we didn't have much time to shoot it, like just maybe 5 weeks. So, of course, we couldn't laugh all day long and fuck up the takes. So we were trying to be serious, but at the same time it's always fun, when you, en français we say avoir l'œil qui frise, means having this little, like if your eye is laughing because you can't really laugh, so we say qu'on a l'œil qui frise.
Like a twitch?
And here you say a glint in your eye.
Yeah, and
a twinkle in your eye, yeah.
We've had those a lot, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I would love to open it to the audience if anyone has a question. Maybe raise your hand or stand up.
There's not much to say.
Okay, right there.
It was so impressive, the back and forth, and I'm just wondering if there were alternative endings to the script, or...
No.
The question is, was there alternate endings to the script?
What could have happened, because it really could have gone several ways.
No, that was the ending and the only one ending. And in France, people are very disappointed that, of course, that the kid dies. But yeah, it's a satire, so he pushed the
envelope.
He pushed the envelope all the way, and it's dark.
It's also immoral, completely immoral, and they're all complicit.
Yeah.
All of them. So that's a dark comedy, right?
Yeah. I think immorality those days is interesting, and that we have to be unpolitically correct also in order to really see things.
That's pushing the envelope, yeah. It is politically incorrect, totally. Yes. They weren't. Is there any other question? I think the house, the location is so beautiful as well. We all want to spend the summer there too. But how is that? It's almost a character in the film as well. This kind of spiral.
Yeah, it's a very interesting house, and I didn't realize when we were shooting the film that the house would be filmed that way. I saw that when I discovered the movie, how this house is a real character and is very strong.
It's almost like a fortress, a glass fortress for this.
Yeah.
These, the upper class, with the upstairs, downstairs, the downhill, uphill. It speaks to the theme of the film. So, and how was the film received in France? Did they find it as funny as we did?
Yes, the movie was in Cannes, in Director's Fortnight.
Director's Fortnight.
Yeah. La Quinzaine des réalisateurs. And yeah, we had a great screening in Cannes. People really get the film. And the movie came out a month ago in Paris, in France. And it's doing very well.
That's good. Do you feel like it is part of the tradition of the French satire, la lutte des classes, and it seems like it's a very current, a very up-to-date, it's about now.
We like to, again and again, poser un regard.
To observe or to examine.
Things on a social perspective, because that's what we've made of, for how long, again, I don't know, but in France, we care about people, and we have all those amazing way to support people. So I guess, yes, it's always been a tradition. Sometimes it's more like real social drama, intense film that look at those subjects. And yes, I think it's interesting to explore that among comedy.
I think it's comedy is a form. It's just another and effective way to talk about something extremely serious and about society. And for the Americans in the audience, I think in France there's a mistrust of people with money. That in America people admire people with money. I know in France there's a lot of people who don't trust.
Yeah, money is a taboo subject in France, and it creates a lot of passive-aggressive situation. We're kind of like ashamed of money in France. It's quite the opposite way.
We talked about the mobility between classes. You evoked that. In the end, what do you think the message of this film is? Is there a possibility of mobility, in the terms of this film?
No. It's quite obvious, but again, it's like a fairy tale. It's a satire, so it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, those fairy tale that turns out like bad, it's a reality, unfortunately.
Thank you so much for staying.